Greetings, folks. Welcome to Play Unplugged TV. I'm your host, Enrico Nardini, and we're here for www.playunplugged.com. I'm here with the Mage Wars team again. Bryan, it was so great interviewing you last year at Origins, and now, everything's come full circle. It's been a year. We're just very, very close to the release of Mage Wars. How are you feeling?
Oh, we're really pumped and excited about it. It was great coming to Origins this year because we can see all the excitement in the players. A lot of guys come up to the booth and they go, oh, we've already played the demo. We've been watching the game. We just can't wait to buy it. And that's helped build our confidence, got us excited too. We're really looking forward to the release.
That sounds great. And Bryan, I'm also here with your lead writer. This is Tom Allen. Tom, say hi to the folks.
Hello.
And so, Bryan, it's been a year. What has changed? What's developed? Where are we now?
Okay, we are actually going to print right now. Some of the items are already in print, and a few others will be in print in a matter of weeks. So we're looking at a Gen Con release. Definitely, it'll be in stores by the end of August. It's very likely it'll be in stores before that. We've spent the last year marketing the game. We've been to every major trade show across the United States. We've done over 2,000 demos, and I can honestly say after each demo, the players are really excited about the system we've invented, and I feel really good about what we're doing.
Yeah, the thing when I first demoed the game at Origins, that's what attracted me to it, was demoing the game, playing it, moving the wizards around, seeing how their different spells work, things like that. Very cool. It was just like, it's just a very different, very unique kind of game, and I think people are going to play it and have a very unique experience.
Well, thank you very much. We've worked hard. We've come up with a unique genre here where we have customizable card games meets tactical miniatures. Do you want me to tell you a little bit about play?
Yeah, well, we'll get into that. I'd like to get into that. One quick thing though, I'd like to give Tom a chance because we talked a little bit about play last time. Tom, you're working on the story. Can you tell us a little bit about like the Mage Wars story?
Well, yes. Essentially, Mage Wars is set on a world where for a long time there were no limits put on mages, and they pushed the bonds of what they could do with experimentation, learning to summon powerful forces, level mountains. In fact, at one point they even destroyed a whole kingdom and created an ocean. And after many years of this stability, the people just got tired of there being no sort of way to rein in the mages, so they got together and basically through a series of events came to enforce the Mage Wars, which became a series of sort of ritualized duels that mages could engage in where they could demonstrate all the powers of their art without blowing up the entire country. And so for a while now, the Mage Wars have been keeping the peace, but many of the nations chafe under the system. There's a lot of mages that don't want to deal with this, and so going forward, we'll be examining how this system that has maintained stability begins to crack and what happens to the world as a result of that.
Oh, that sounds awesome. What a cool, it's a great way. I like how it, it's kind of like almost like mage gladiatorial combat.
Yes, that will play a big part of it, but we hope that the scope of this will eventually take the battles from the Mage Wars beyond to the arena and to the streets and the homes of the citizens of the world.
Oh my gosh,
We've got organized play that's going to support that story, so we're very excited about that. We've got writers. Tom actually has a staff of writers working on organized play modules right now that will support that story, and players will be able to direct the course of history by playing in their local stores, and their points will go towards scoring how the world changes.
Oh, that's awesome. So depending on how players play the game, it'll actually influence the game world.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're very excited about it. We've got some really good stories. Do you want to give any hints on that now?
Not really. I would just say that although things will start from a point where it seems like it's in balance, it's probably actually that the dominoes have already fallen too far and there's nothing that can put the brakes on the chaos to come.
That sounds awesome. Very exciting. Now, Bryan, you'd mentioned earlier about the mechanics. Just for those who haven't had a chance to demo it or those who haven't had a chance to catch the original interview we did, could you just give us a brief overview of the game?
Absolutely. Okay, so Mage Wars is played with a spell book, which is one of the unique features of it. All your spells are kept in this spell book, and you flip through it during your game turn, looking through the spells, trying to decide what you want to cast. It has a nice feel like you're actually a mage going through your tome of spells. Unlike a card game, you don't draw cards hoping to get the spell that you're supposed to know. If you have a sneaky, conniving combination of spells in your spell book, well, put them in there and you pull them out and play them exactly when you want. You have total control over what you do each round, so there's very little luck in the game. It's all about the choices that you make and the planning that you do ahead of time. So the game is played on this arena board here, and when you cast spells, you actually pull them out of your spell book and place them on the board, and they become an object in the game. For example, if I was to summon a Darkfen Hydra, I would place it on the game board out of my spell book, and now it can move around the board and interact with other things, making attacks or blocking other creatures in, things like that. We have lots of interesting things going on, like you can put walls up. The arena is divided into various zones that regulate movement and attack, and you can put walls up to block attacks or hem creatures in. You can play enchantments in the game. All the enchantments are always played face down.
This is one of my favorite mechanics because it's got that, you place the card and then somebody has to wonder, oh my gosh, what does he have set up for me? It's cool because it's intimidating. It's like, I'm putting this card, it's face down, you don't know what it is. It's one of the mechanics that I thought was one of the most unique.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we're really excited about that too. Early game, mages will typically play down several enchantments in the game and lay them face down on various creatures or zones. You don't know what they are. In some cases, they're just a decoy, which is like a magical nexus that you can just get your mana back when you flip it over. So you can trick your opponents. Things like traps are played in zones, like this is a Hellfire trap. If a creature moves into the zone, I might flip it over and explode the entire zone, putting everything on fire. But you might have things like reverse force fields that send attacks back to the other player. Or the priestess might be burning and severely damaged. She needs to cast her epic divine intervention spell, and then right when she goes to cast it, the warlock reveals that he has poisoned her blood with a curse, and that's an unpleasant surprise because it counters that divine intervention spell. So the enchantments are really cool. Late game, you start flipping them over at the right moments, and you get a lot of nice surprises in there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of cool rules interactions. I think one of the things that's neat about the game, though, is I think on the surface somebody might look at it and say, whoa, this is a really complicated game. But actually you can pick it up very quickly, even though there's a high depth of strategy.
That's true. There's a lot going on in the game world because we try to make it play as if Magic were real, so it follows typical physics of our real world plus magical physics we had to add in there. But what's nice about it is that things work like they should work. So the way a fireball would be cast and would travel across the arena, possibly being blocked by a wall of fire like a line of fire, and the way it hits the opponent can maybe cause them to burn, things like that. Everything works like you think it should work. And so usually you can pick up the game in about 5 minutes and start going. And we do our demos. They take about 45 minutes. Players are already grasping the game and on their own in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like now, I'm very partial to the Beastmaster, and I'm going to ask you later what your favorite one is. I really like the Beastmaster because he reminds me of a druid. He's very druid-like with summoning animals and supporting them, and I think that's really cool. And I had a lot of fun playing him. But I really felt like when I played the demo, I felt like it was like I was actually able to figure tricks out and trick, I think it's good when you're playing a demo. I'm sure to a certain degree, the person demoing it, they try to. It's good to let the opponent win, but at the same time, I really felt like the strategies I was coming up with on my own, which was cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, we've built several strategies into the mages, but there's plenty of room for you to come up with your own too. The demos, if anyone's been playing a demo, we've done over 500 in the last couple of days here at Origins. You're getting a small sample taste of what's in the full game. The full game offers so many other choices, and when you're ready, just dump all the spells out of your spell book and rebuild it any way you want, the way that you want to play your mage, and there's just an unlimited number of combinations of things you can do, which is why it's taken 5 years to develop the game system.
Yeah, absolutely, and sometimes it takes that long to get a really good product out there, and I think so long as the finished product is great, I think people are willing to wait.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. The last 6 months, we've had almost 60 play testers playing the game, and just the last few weeks, I'm getting all the thumbs up, ready to go. So we feel really good about what we've been developing and working on and balancing all this time.
Bryan, if somebody wanted to find out more information, where should they go? Where online should they go to find out more information about Mage Wars?
Great question. Okay, go to www.magewars.com. So there's the game name right there, Mage Wars, just .com. And we'll have updates on there of when we're coming out, what products we're going to have, what events you can see us at, what shows you can catch us at. There'll be information from Dr. Allen's world and story and background information, upcoming spells, and upcoming mages and things.
That sounds awesome. Now, Tom, I'm going to come back to you for my question, and then I'll ask the same question you brought. Tom, when you're playing the game, which mage of the 4 choices that are available right now, which mage is your favorite?
Oh, I have to definitely say the Warlock. I love the fact that it's big damage comboed with directly attacking the mage and none of this waiting around for things to happen.
That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, he's a favorite. Actually, he's a favorite character amongst the playtesters too. They love just being able to go right for the throat, go after the enemy mage, put on your armor, put on your Helm of Fear, your Hellfire Whip, summon up a big demon like a Dramelech, and just go for the throat.
And your favorite?
Do I have to pick from these 4? Because they're all great, but I have another one I like even better.
Okay.
Well, we have an upcoming mage. We're going to come out with new mages every few months, and the next pack coming out is the Force Master versus Warlord. And traditionally, for the last 5 years, my favorite is the Force Master. I just love the way she plays. She's got some really cool spells. She can take over the minds of other creatures, so she doesn't even have to have her own creatures. She'll just take one of yours. She can force push and hold other creatures and slam things around. She has a force field, and she has an invisible force creature that is really, really powerful.
Bryan, that sounds awesome. It sounds like there's going to be a lot more new things. As far as expansion plans, I know we're ramping up to the game actually being released. But just leave us off with what are some expansion plans? Where do you see the game going?
Okay. Well, currently our plan is to have a new product in players' hands every 2 months. So we want to, the players that are very excited about the game and they want to buy new things to add to their set, they can get a new pack of spell cards every couple months. We'll have a tome so they can expand their library. It'll have additional copies of spells that they use commonly so they can augment their library, as well as lots of new spells. Every 4 months or every other time, we were going to come out with 2 new mages. So the first set would be the Force Master versus the Warlord just before Christmas. About springtime, we will have the Necromancer versus Druid. The next ones after that are the Paladin versus Illusionist. We have 24 planned altogether.
Nice. That sounds awesome. Guys, thank you so much for the interview.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate being here. Thank you, loyal fans, for staying with us for a whole year waiting for the final release of Mage Wars.
You know what, Bryan, one more question. I almost forgot, and I apologize. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you the question I've been trying to ask every game creator and designer that I've interviewed. You have a lot of passion and excitement, and I can tell it just comes off you when we're talking about the games. What about designing games? Like when you roll out of bed in the morning and you're like, man, I'm making more spell cards for Mage Wars. Like, what gets you pumped up in the day?
Deadlines. Actually, prior to the deadlines, I would get up and I'd start thinking about some creative new spell we could put in the game or something like that. The last 6 months has just all been about deadlines and trying to go ahead and streamline and get this thing to print. So
that's a great answer. That's a very fair and a very good answer. Bryan, thank you so much, Bryan Pope, and thank you so much, Tom Allen. Guys, we're really excited to see where Mage Wars goes, and thank you for the interview.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Folks, this is Enrico Nardini from Play Unplugged TV, signing out from Origins 2012 with Bryan Pope from Mage Wars and Tom Allen from Mage Wars.